G'day guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to set up another canister on my African display tank. So I'm going to run through what media I've got in it, what I'm adding to it, and how I'm going to set it up. So let's go through that now. Alright, so we've got 4 media trays here, but I'm going to change these up a bit. So we're going to make a mess here. Tray number 4. I got to think about this. Tray number 4 is the bottom one. Well, tray number 4 can be the top one actually, because it's got no stuff in it. So this one, these handles are a bit of a pain. This one, that one, and that one are going in the top tray. So this is the first tray. Alright, so next, the bio balls are going in the bin because they're rubbish. So then this media here can go in tray 1. Which is the bottom tray. I don't run sponges between layers, I don't see the point. Alright, so tray number 1 goes in. So I had them around the wrong way guys, in standard fashion. So I had to swap the media to number 4. 4 is at the bottom. I've got this tub of random goodies here. Might get a bit more in that tray actually. Alright, so I didn't go too crazy guys. I just added about 10 marine pure balls, couple of what do you call them? Noodles. There's not much. The noodles are pretty pointless. Alright guys, so the next tray is done. So that can go in. Alright, so next one. So you're probably thinking, why does he bother with like these brittle ones that just fall apart and break up? They're the best ones guys, because that means more surface area generally. So like marine pure, as an example, this piece is a bad example, but the marine pure usually breaks up pretty easy. That's because of how porous it is. So our next layer is the same deal again, backy rods in the bottom, and then just top it up with whatever we can find in this lovely mix here. Obviously not the gravel. You guys know me, I'm all about best bang for your buck, and I've got that tray sitting there. It's all surface area at the end of the day, so I'm just using what I have. At the end of the day, what I'm adding to this filter from stock is already magnifying how well this is going to work, so I generally just use whatever I can find around the house. I'm not fussy when it comes to media. Alright, so third tray goes in. So this canister filter works from the top down, so ceramic at the bottom, foam at the top. So I've got to reload this one with all the sponges, whatever way around they go. Oh, wrong way. So course down the bottom, fine up the top. Everybody does that different. Some people put the course at the top, fine at the bottom. To be honest, I don't think it really matters. This is just the way I do it. Alright, and we have one canister filter ready to go. So I can already feel by the weight of it, it's more than double the weight it was before. So under the tank here you'll see my original canister is hard plumbed. So I'm actually going to tee these pipes and run both canisters off the one return. Now this is 25 mil, so I am probably pushing the diameter to its maximum flow. Alright guys, so we got some fresh thread sealer here. Try to say that 3 times. So I'm going to obviously put thread sealer on all the pipes. And a helicopter decides to fly over, guys. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me know in the comments. Can you hear the helicopter, or is that how good the microphone is? Alright, so I'm going to build these two and then I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so we've built these. Can you guys see? There. So I'm going to have the main one, the bigger one going that way, and I'm hoping that the direction of the flow will kind of pull this one through. Really, it would be perfect if that was a Y, but I can't get anything that is a Y. So now we're going to put these two on. I can't put these on yet due to like clearance to turn them. Alright guys, so plumbing's done. I ended up having to run the smaller canister through the bottom just because of the height. The 2700 is so much taller and I was worried about getting these pipes to the filter. So we've gone with this way. It shouldn't be a drama. So looking at 25 mil hose is a lot smaller than 25 mil PVC. Like the 25 mil PVC is more like 32. I don't know how it works, guys. It gets quite confusing, especially when you're trying to adapt from one to the other. So that's, what have we got? That's a 25 mil fitting there to the a barb fitting, but that's a 25 mil threaded fitting. That's twice the size of that. So I don't know. Yeah, we should have enough. What my point is we should have enough pipes diameter for the amount of flow we're going to be running. Now it's just a matter of hooking these back up, which is going to be a mission in itself. These hoses are quite old, and that's not too bad. This one's going to be the fun one. We got it, guys. That went pretty smooth. I actually found a piece of hose in the shed because the previous owner had this piece of hose on there. So I'm guessing that this canister was also previously hard plumbed into the tank. One thing that does worry me a bit, if you look here, those pipes there, they don't even have any hose clamps on them. They weren't leaking prior to this, so I don't see why they should leak now. But it would be just my luck. Because I've moved it all around, they'll end up leaking. And I'll have to go get some hose clamps. Alright guys, moment of truth. Will it leak? Now, I accidentally loosened one of the bulkheads up in the tank. So that's a bit worrying. I tried to tighten it, but there's just no room. Basically, whoever designed this tank, I hate it. I actually do. The weir on the back and the way it's drilled is horrible. But it is what it is. Sometimes when you buy second-hand stuff, you've got to work with what you get. Lots of water noises. hear air. Can't see any water. I've actually got, worst case scenario, this stuff here. It's like a sealer. It's better, it's like, I don't like using Vaseline because that actually eats away at the seals. This stuff's like $5 a tube and works really well. Let's see. Is that Bunnings? Alright, let's turn this on. See what happens. Now, I didn't fill this one with water. But we'll see what happens. That one there's full of water. There we go. You can hear it taking off. That's some serious flow, guys. So we've got this pipe here to go on. I have to push that on properly in a sec to make it quiet. But I've actually just noticed this pipe here is only 20 mil. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to get that. That pipe's only 20 mil. I'm not happy about that. We're gonna have to change that, guys. So it looks like we're changing that pipe. Probably not today, but at some stage. Hey guys, just quickly before I end this video. So the filter is leaking. But it's no big deal. I've already checked the O-ring, it's in good nick. So I'm just gonna put some of this hydro seal on it. So I'll wrap it up there, guys. I just thought I'd show you quickly before I ended the video. Alright guys, so it's still leaking. So I've pulled this assembly apart here. And I'm just going to lube up all these O-rings. There's no damage to any of them. I'm not blaming the guy I bought it off, because this did sit. He did tell me that this canister filter has sat for a year or two and it hasn't been used. So I think that's just part of it drying out. So we'll get it lubed up and back together. Alright, so it's got bulk lube on it, guys. There's just little balls in there. Now, I'm going to gently try and put this back together because those balls fall out very easily. Alright, so that's in. Oh, you're not going to be able to see. I can hardly see. So, open balls, closed balls. See how that goes. Put the screws back in and I'll get it back together. So that's all lubed up, so round 3 we'll see if it works. Alright, so it's finally stopped dripping. So what I think it is, see how those hoses pull down there? That one there is quite short. It's just what I had to work with because this was hard plumbed by the previous owner. So what that's doing is that's pulling on this fitting that way. There's a little O-ring in there, so it's pushing down on the back side of that O-ring but lifting up on this side. And these are quite loose in there. So I think what I'm going to have to do is make some shims to go in there. It's not leaking at the moment, but I don't want to move it. Like I tried to position it so that hose was like pushing up, like I pushed the canister back, but I'm pretty sure if I even move that canister at all, it'll start dripping. So I'm going to make some shims up at work. It's going to be quite difficult without taking that to work. So yeah, I don't know, I'll just make it out of laminate, I think. I'll bring some laminate home and something to cut it with and actually make them at home. Which means taking it apart again. But, oh well. So I've cut 25mm PVC shims. And I've had to like gap them kind of like a piston ring. So you can see how that just overlaps. And that's to push these down to put more pressure on these O-rings. I'm going to wrap today's video up there, guys. Sorry if it was a bit choppy and changey in the middle there. It was recorded over 2 days. I'd actually recorded an outro and I'm going to redo this outro because obviously I noticed this morning it was leaking, so I wanted to extend the video. As much of a bummer as it is that it was leaking, I feel like it's great content for the video. So I showed you guys the reason I think it's leaking. In no way at all do I want to blame the person I bought it off, and it's kind of a positive. I got to pull it apart and show you guys what to do in the case of a leaking canister. There is the chance that it was leaking when it was running for the last person, but the person I bought it off didn't actually use it. He bought it secondhand, and he told me that when I bought it that he hadn't had it running. All he had done before I bought it, he pulled it apart, made sure the O-ring was good and made sure that the impeller was good. So I knew that was good buying it, but I think it's like fault of my tank that it was leaking, is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to blame anyone. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Canister filters aren't really my thing, but I feel like it's really good, really good content for the channel. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit subscribe.